Welcome back. In a recent puzzle solving video, the solution to the puzzle left me up a queen for a rook, which, as everybody knows, is winning. A queen is more valuable than a rook, and of course Stockfish knows that it's winning. But in my experience in the few games where I've ended up with a queen versus a rook, it's often really difficult to win that game, especially if the opponent is competent. So today what I'm going to do is take the ending position of that puzzle and try to play it against a couple of bots, a weak bot, maybe a medium bot, and if I get past that, then I'll try to play it against a harder bot. The puzzle was this one. If I'm not mistaken, it was the last puzzle in my previous puzzle solving video, and in this one, if you click play, the rook moves over here, and the solution was to come back with the queen and check here on f5, because that's lining up a discovered attack on this queen. So if you move the queen here and the king goes out of check, gets out of check, then I can, check with the rook down there. When they take the rook, I'm going to take the queen. But if I'm not mistaken, in the puzzle, they blocked with the queen, and then I moved the rook over, so I'm going to win the queen. Let's see if that's what happens. Sure enough, they blocked with the queen. I moved my rook over, and that's the end of the puzzle. And when I took it to the analysis board, if I remember correctly, there were 3 moves listed that were about equal. One was just taking the rook, losing the queen for the rook, because the queen can't move. It's going to get taken. Another move Stockfish suggested was just bringing their king forward, and another one I think was just bringing the rook forward. So when I took their queen, their rook would be here. But either way, I'm going to end up a queen for a rook. So I think I can take this exact position, put it in the analysis board, and then play it against a bot or choose the bots. In fact, it says practice against computer straight from here. I wonder if I click that, it just opens against the maximum 300 bot. Oh, and it did move the king forward. That's not what I expected it to do. But I wanted to start against a weaker bot, so I'm going to change the bot, and I'm going to pick a weaker one. I don't know which one to choose here. Let's say Zara, 850, and I'm going to choose that bot, and then now it is my turn. I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to take the queen, so let me take the queen, and they take back. And now I have a queen versus a rook. Can I win this? Now, according to Stockfish, I'm way up here. I don't remember if it was +4 or +5, but I'm up 4 points of material. That's how much usually the queen is rated over the rook. But I can't, just directly capture the rook now. I can't, get one of these pawns just yet. I can check, but they're going to move out of check. Won't be able to check again there, although I guess I could check again over here. So I don't think checking is the answer. Even if I was in a position to, I couldn't get this D pawn because their rook's defending it. They have 2 pawns here, neither of which is technically a passed pawn yet, but they can get there pretty quick. So I'm going to have to figure this out. Now, one thing I did think of was to bring my queen back here, so if they move that pawn forward and I take, I'll be able to stop the other pawn. But that's a defensive idea. I don't know if I should be focusing on defensive ideas right now or not. I could, come and try to attack their rook immediately, and I'm not sure where it would move to. It might take the open file, and then I suppose I could move over, which threatens the rook and aims at this pawn, but then I figure they would probably check me. I would have to get out of check, and then they would clear off this pawn. So as you can see, just the fact that you're up a queen versus a rook doesn't make it easy to win. And to me, there's a huge difference between winning and winning. Because we get in the habit of talking about positions in chess as, oh, this is a winning position. But in chess, you don't win unless the opponent's time runs out, or they resign, or you checkmate them. And none of those things have happened here. So what do? I'm actually just going to move back 1 to take control of this open file so that their rook can't get it, and then I'll figure it out from there. Oh, they've advanced a pawn. Okay, well, I am also going to advance this pawn to keep that one from going any further and see what they do. Okay, they've come to get behind this pawn. I suppose the idea here is to advance the C pawn, and then when I take, then they won't take back. They'll push past, protected by the rook. However, I think when they move there, I could throw in a check first, then take here. I am guarding the promotion square, but I don't know if that's a good idea or not. Ooh-wee. Plus I have a move in the meantime here. But yeah, it does definitely look like they're about to get a queen. Okay, what if I play my B pawn first? If they capture, then I can capture with my queen, and I'm in front of their other pawn. And if I play that and they move past, then I can check them. And then when they get out of check, what do I do then? Get in front of that pawn? So I'm blocking all the pawns, but then I'm using my queen as just, a pawn preventer? I don't know. And I can't check them right now because their pawns are guarding those squares. Well, and their rook's guarding that one, and their pawn's guarding that one. So yeah, I'm not sure. But I think I'm just going to drop the queen back 1 more and see what they play. Okay, they played that, and again, I can go here and keep their pawns from advancing any further, but then they're going to come around, try to check me. Oh, my goodness. Well, I'm going to use up all my time for today, probably on this first bot at the rate we're going, and I don't think I'm going to be able to beat an intermediate bot at this rate. Okay, yeah, they're just coming now. Let's get my king up here, and oh, they've moved their queen over there for some reason. I mean, their rook. I was going to push this forward so when they took, I would take with check, but I don't know if that's a good idea. Let's try it. Oh, they just ran away. Well, then I'll check them with my queen, and I will take that pawn. Well, I'd sure like to be able to get my queen right over there, but I don't know how. I guess I can push this pawn and try to come in this way. No, they could always block that check with this pawn. But still, I'm going to push the pawn. They've moved with their king again. Not sure where they're going with it. Are they trying to get over here to protect this pawn? But now I can check them down there and pick off one of their pawns. I think that's okay. Let's check. Then we'll pick off this pawn with check. And then we'll get their rook here with check and see what they do. Okay, well that turned out to be really easy after that first few moves, because now I can just pick off pawns. Well, now I don't have to pick off pawns. Now I'm going to push their king back and bring my king. Push their king back, and their king is on the back rank, so we'll have checkmate in a couple of moves. Right there is one place. I had I think a couple of checkmates there. Okay, well I got really worried about that one right there at the beginning. Let's close this, go back to the this tab on the puzzle and do the play against the bot, and this time I will select a bot that's around my rating. Practice versus computer. And this time the king went the other way, which was not one of the moves listed by Stockfish when I analyzed the puzzle. But I'm going to change the bot. Intermediate bots, let's pick one that's around 1300. You know, Vinh is usually pretty strong in end games, or at least has been against me the last times that I've played him. So let's choose Vinh. And again, I will take the queen to start, and they've taken back. Again, I'm not sure exactly how to start this. That turned out to be the problem with the last one. I mean, I could come down and threaten the rook immediately, and depending on where it goes, I could then check and win this pawn. Let's see if that works. Yeah, let's check here. Okay, I figured it might come up, but now I can check and win this pawn. So I think I'm okay there, because those pawns on the B and C files are the ones that I'm worried about. Okay, the king has just moved, so let's take this pawn. Can't check again immediately, but I would like to be able to, let's see, if I come up threatening the rook and this pawn, let's see what happens there. Where will the rook go? Okay, so I can't take this pawn just yet, or the C pawn for that matter. But I can keep threatening the rook, I think, fairly safely. Okay, now it has taken the open file and it looks like it wants to win this pawn. So, but I'm protecting it right now. So maybe let's advance my pawn. If they do check me, I'm going to go this way. Okay, now I think they're preparing for something like this, but that's going to take a couple of moves. Let's check them first. Both of those front pawns will be protected, so their king will have to go back. I assume it will go back to g3, not to h3. If it goes back to g3, that'll be checkmate. I mean to h3. So I assume if I check here with g5, that the king will go to g3, and then where will I go? Or should I take this pawn first? Because they can't check me immediately on this turn, except for there. So if I take their f3 pawn first, and they decide to try to come around for a checkmate, then I play this pawn forward, and I think that's mate. Okay, let's try that. Okay, they gave away the rook. I kind of figured that was going to happen, and then they gave away that pawn, and this should be checkmate. Okay, it was easier to beat Vinh than it was to beat that 800 bot, which kind of surprised me. Okay, that was only 14 moves. How many was the previous one? I don't think there's any way to save these games because they're not actual games, but it's on the video. Just out of curiosity, if we analyze this position here, that's funny, it starts on move 3 because it would have been the third move of the puzzle. Okay, before that move, yeah, I'm up plus 5.5, and I'm still up almost plus 6 now. I figured that wasn't the best move. These are the moves that were actually, these are not the exact same moves that were suggested after I ran the puzzle. B6 was not among them. The queen taking is one of them, king coming to g3, and I think after I ran the puzzle, the other suggestion was the rook up, but it says b6 is the other one. So this made things a little worse for the bot. I don't even have to take their queen yet. I could just check here and I would still be up plus 5.5, or sorry, minus 5.5. Well, I didn't realize that. Okay, so that was my best move. They take back. Okay, queen to c2 was my best move. All right, well, I feel good about that then. Going to threaten the rook. I'm trying to figure out where Vinh gave it away because I think at some point Vinh gave it away. And queen to b3 was my best move. Okay, going after the pawn with this fork. All those suggested moves are about the same. That was one of the best ones, and then taking the pawn is my best, but it's not necessary. I could just play queen to b4 and threaten the rook again, but this is one of the very best. Okay, now here Vinh didn't do the best move. f4 is listed as best, king to e3, rook to d1. I have no idea why, but Vinh put the king over here. Okay, that's about the same. Okay, I'm starting to feel pretty good because I picked a lot of the best moves here, so it might not have been Vinh messing up. It might have been me playing really well. Rook to d1, queen to b3 was one of my 2 best, if not the best moves. Okay, best move. Okay, now here, there are a few different choices and they're all about -7. One is queen to b2, one is queen to b4, which threatens the rook again. And the other is king to h6. Okay, well, I played h5. How bad was that? That brought us back down to -6. Okay, and that was the bot's best move and mine. And Vinh should have just come up 1 to e6 or down 1 to e8 to immediately prepare for this. But this move, okay, that was a blunder. All right, I wondered about that. So Vinh blundered mate here. If Vinh had kept playing the best moves after this point, I don't know that I could have won it. But I'm guessing that a stronger bot will play the best moves here. Gave me mate in 3 here. I was right to take this pawn. His best move was to check me. Obviously, I only have 1 legal move here. And Vinh only has 2 legal moves here. In either one, I have mate on the next turn, which is g5. But I messed up. When Vinh went there, I took it. And I shouldn't have, because Vinh was trying to get a stalemate. I should have just checkmated immediately. But I took the pawn, and I got lucky that it wasn't a stalemate. Now he only has 1 legal move. And here, oh, I didn't realize I had multiple mates. Queen to f2 would have been checkmate. Okay, I didn't think of that. I played queen to f4 mate, but it says, oh, I could have just moved the g pawn here and that would have been checkmate as well because the queen's now guarding that pawn. Okay. All right, well, let's do it one more time against a harder bot. Practice versus computer. I'm still not going to do the maximum 3200 because I'm never going to play someone rated that high. I'm also probably not going to play someone that would have made one of these 2 king moves that the maximum bot made. I'm pretty sure most humans that I've played would have just taken the rook, but I don't know. I have trouble predicting human moves sometimes too. Okay, I'm just going to pick a strong bot here. These are a bunch of advanced bots that I've never played. I don't know how highly they're rated. 1500. Let's go higher than that. What this Jonas guy is 1700. What should we go to? About 2000? Okay, Fatima's around 2000. Lebanon. Okay, I do not know all the flags of the world. That's one reason I always hover over unfamiliar flags. And anyway, Lebanon. Got it. I'm going to choose that one. I'm going to take the queen. See what Fatima plays. Okay, took back with the pawn, which was best. I think I remember going over here was pretty good. But it was better when the king was over here because then I was able to check and win the pawn. Okay, because yeah, I think here the bot's just going to move over 1. But then I guess I could move over 1 and prepare to win this pawn. I think. Let's try that and see what happened. Oh, Fatima went that way. Trying to come around over here. All right, what if I come over to b2, threatening the rook, and when they do come down here, I will get this pawn and protect my own. Then they advance that one. Oh, but then I could just take it. Okay, I'm going to try that. Oh, they're going to let me choose which pawn to have? But they're about to check me, aiming for my b pawn, so I should pick off their b pawn now, I think. And they did check me. I've got to go to h6, pretty sure. Okay, and I think at some point Vinh was supposed to have played this because of this pawn. So, should I protect that pawn? Can I protect that? I can protect it by just moving it forward. But then Fatima can go between these 2 pawns, and can I protect that? Yes, I can protect that one. Okay, I'm going to try this then, f5. Oh, well, good job, Fatima. She went straight for my queen, protected by this pawn. And if I have to move my queen out of danger to keep protecting my pawn. How is this going to work? Oh my goodness. Okay, well, let's try that. Queen to d7. Okay, but now, can't I just move over and pin that rook? I think. Let's move over and pin the rook. Oh, and the king has stayed in the pin. Oh, should I try b5 here? And if they take with en passant, I get the rook. And if they don't take, then I have a passed pawn. I don't know if I should try that or not. I'm going to try it. Oh my. I'm not sure what to try here. Oh, and also I realized that pawn's undefended. Okay. Oh, wow. Good job, Fatima. Now they can check me. I can check them, but I don't know if it's any good. Oh, they're going to get that pawn, aren't they? Oh, no. Wait, I can protect that pawn this way, can't I? Check. Not sure. Let's keep checking as long as we can. Here I can check and not quite win that pawn because they can protect it. But it's worth a shot, I think. Let's check. Yeah, they did go back to protect it. And of course, the rook is still aiming at that, so I have to be careful about that. And also I don't want to check here. I could check here, but then they can block with the rook again, but then I advance the pawn again. Is that a good idea? Queen to c7 check. They did not block with the rook. Well, I don't want a repetition. The best I can do now is pick off that pawn, I think. And then they get mine? Or will they advance? I don't think they'll advance because I'll come back. I think they'll take my pawn. Then I can check. Or no, I could pin their rook. Maybe they won't take my pawn. I don't know what they'll do, but I'm going to go take that H pawn. Ooh, they advanced that one. Nice. Okay, well, let's check. See where they go. They went that way. Oh, I'm getting worried about these passed pawns here. Let's advance that one more. Oh my, oh my. Let's see, I can come here, but then I'm not protecting the pawn anymore, but I'm aiming at this one, or I could just take that one now. Oh boy. Or should I go here and then promote and get their rook, but then they have 2 passed pawns. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to take this. They took my pawn, and now I can't do the thing where I said I could have pinned them because the position has changed. Okay. But I can fork their rook in this pawn and see what they play. I assume they will move the rook to protect the pawn. No. Maybe here? Okay, let's try that. See where they go. Oh, they checked me. I'm going to get out of check, I think. Should I get out of check this way? I don't know. I'm going to get out of check this way. Oh, no, I should have gotten out of check that way so I could check them here. And I can't even get to one of these 2 squares, which would pin that pawn to the king. Maybe let's just come forward a little bit, and then I can check here. And then I can pin that pawn to the king. Okay, the king has moved. I think at this point a repetition might actually be my best bet. Do you think I can get a repetition out of this bot? Yeah, I think that might be my best bet at this point. Pin the pawn to the king and then see what they do. Okay. Oh, they brought the rook this time. Oh my, because I had this. And now that, no, they can't move that pawn yet. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Okay, then I have to check again. And pin the pawn to the king again. Oh, and now I can't check here. Well, I couldn't have checked there anyway because my pawn was here. But if that pawn wasn't there, I could check there and win their rook, but then they'll promote. So I think I need to pin that pawn. And then pin that pawn. Oh boy. Now I can check over here. They move over, I check, and they promote. So that's not good. I think I just need to maintain the pin. Okay. Check again. Check here. Check. Yeah, I'm going for the repetition, in case you haven't noticed. I don't know if the bot wants a repetition or not. Okay, because as you saw, those 2 pawns got so close, I was happy to get the repetition, and as I suspected, I could not win that position against a decent player. But just out of curiosity, where did I go wrong? I was up +5 or -5, whatever. Here, take the queen, they take back. That was okay. We're still at -6, nearly -7. Oh, I needed to play b6 here, not b5. Oh, well, how bad was b5 then? Okay, it took us back to the lowest that we've been so far, or right at the beginning. We were at -5 point something. It was their best move to come protect the rook, but that's not where I went wrong. So b4 is my best move here. Their king taking my pawn is best. b3 is not my best move. I should have checked over here on f7. But no, b3 is tied with that. Okay, the bot's best move. Oh, I went wrong right here. Well, not really wrong. I was still at -6 when I checked them, but I should have just taken the rook, it says. I would have been at -7.5 if I just took the rook. Wait. Oh, because I'm going to promote first, and my new queen would be guarding the promotion square. Oh my goodness, I could have just taken. They would have taken, and I had one good move, and it doesn't matter what they do, but let's say they did this, and I could promote to a queen or a rook, and I would be winning. Oh wow, okay. So I didn't lose here, but I could have won. I think I understand that, because I would have gotten the pawn, probably the pawn and the rook for my queen, but then I would have gotten another queen. But that wasn't horrible. I'm still at -6. Okay, where did I go wrong? This one went to 38 moves. Nice. All right. Okay, taking that pawn wasn't great. We're down slightly less of an advantage than we had at the beginning of the puzzle, and that was one of their better moves. Okay, I lost almost all of my advantage by playing b2 here. Here it says I had to play queen to e3, which forks these 2 pawns, I guess. But they just would have pushed one of them, right? They wouldn't have pushed that one because it would have given me the rook. They would have pushed this one, and I would have taken c5. Okay, I understand queen to e3. They might not have played d6, but couldn't they have just protected that pawn with the rook instead of letting me have it? Or queen to f2 would have done the same thing, looks like, point at those same 2 pawns. And in that one, it says they would take my pawn. Or queen to c2. which points at this pawn and protects mine, but doesn't point at this one over here on f3. And it says in that case, they would move their king up to protect that pawn. And then I would play b2. Because from over here, I would be protecting b2 and b1. I understand that. And it says I would pretty quickly promote to a rook. I'm not sure why. Probably because they'd be forced to take and I would take back. Okay, I understand that. But this lost almost all my advantage by playing b2 first. I thought it was important because I was currently protecting it. But that allows them to push a pawn. Wait, that wasn't... Oh, they had to push c6. They only had one move that kept us close to even, and it was c6. Okay, so Fatima messed up here too, playing d6. d6 would have been her best move if I had played one of my best moves. So maybe Fatima was already looking at d6, and then when I messed up, she went ahead and played that. And my best move here again was queen to e3, or queen to f2, or f4, but not taking f3. That also put us back at 0.4, minus 0.4. But again, Fatima messed up. Should have played c6. Okay, this is twice in a row that the bot tried to give the advantage back to me, and I had to play queen to a3, which threatens the pawn and the rook. Why didn't I see that? Oh, I did try to threaten the pawn and the rook, but now we're drawn because they can check me. Wait, they couldn't have checked me if I had gone to a3? Yeah, it says they still would have checked me if I had gone to a3. They would have checked me. I would have gotten out of check. They would have played c6, and then I would have gone to a4, which would have pinned that pawn to the king. Okay, well, I don't see how that's better than what I played, but somehow it is. Somehow that weighs up -2, and this weighs up is 0. Even though the same things are going to happen, I'm still aiming at this pawn, and I'm not going to get it either way. That's the thing, because when they check me and I move out of check, they just move that pawn, and this time Fatima did play the best move that kept us even. Okay, so we've been drawn ever since I played here instead of here, c3 instead of a3. And I'm not sure why, but that was kind of the point that I wanted to prove to myself after that puzzle, and maybe to some of you, that it can be difficult, very difficult to win with the queen against a rook, especially if there are pawns left on the board, as there were in this case. There were several pawns left. But even if it's just the queen and the rook and a king, it's pretty difficult. Okay, but I did my, chess for the day, chess every day. I did more than the bare minimum. Let me know what you're doing to get better at chess. I'll appreciate it. Just like I appreciate you spending your time here, and I'll see you next time.